of our board of directors, chaired by Paul Levy, our 13,000 members and supporters, the estimated 1 million people who use the Charles every year, meaning they're on it, and the millions more who live in Greater Boston and love this river. You have my letter of October 23rd. That letter was in response to slides that we came upon by chance from the city of Somerville that they were going to present to their city council. In other words, we were given no advance notice of what your team would be proposing the very next day. To say that we were shocked, dismayed, disappointed at the recommendations does not even capture it. We feel betrayed. We, along with hundreds of others, have been participating in the MWRA processes, showing up at meetings, commenting on various slide decks, trying to be a partner toward what we thought was our shared goal of a clean and healthy Charles. After all, your mission contains the words, protect public health, promote environmental stewardship. But no, the memo for today's meeting makes it very clear your executive team has a different goal: to continue using the Charles as a sewer. On page 17, where it says, and I quote, to support a future change in water quality standards to authorize limited CSO discharges, unquote, as Patrick noted, that means MWRA is gearing up to ask state regulators to downgrade the classification of the Charles River. At this time, Massachusetts water quality standards identify the lower Charles as a Class B water. That means no CSOs. The only reason you're allowed to be doing it right now and dumping sewage is because of your variance, which is time limited and intended to be an interim measure while you make progress toward elimination. To propose reclassifying the Charles, anyone involved in that should be mortified. And it's right there in the numbers in the memo. MWRA currently has a legal limit of 13.1 million gallons of sewage discharges each year. You're exceeding that now, thanks to the variance. You're not supposed to be doing that. Yet the staff are proposing increasing the legal limit to nearly 30 million gallons a year. And we know that in the future, it will be hundreds of millions of gallons, thanks to climate change. Is that the legacy that you as a board, you as individuals want to leave? I get that the executive team wants to blame everything on stormwater. Sewage doesn't matter, it's all stormwater. Stormwater is bad. It contains bacteria, nutrient pollution, which is bad for the river. But sewage has pathogens and viruses which make people sick. We know that hospital visits increase, visits related to gastrointestinal illnesses after CSO discharges. You are making people sick. Hospital visits are going up. This will continue, and we will be making people sicker with this recommended path. We look forward to digging into the numbers and the modeling that we've seen today in response to our requests. But as even you saw today, this data is showing a greater impact on water quality concentrations related to stormwater. And another thing, as Patrick commented earlier, our cities and towns are on the hook to reduce stormwater, including mine, Newton, by at least 50% by 2038. And they are spending hundreds of millions of dollars, sometimes each, to do that. So they're doing their part to clean up the river and take responsibility for what they're dumping into it. We are asking you to do the same. And I get that many of you don't want to spend more money. I'm an MWRA ratepayer. I respect the goal of keeping rates low, but not by paying a different cost of a forever polluted river. In spite of all the work you have done over the decades to improve the ecological health of this river, the plan shows that your executive team respectfully has no idea of this river's value, of how much it means to people. We have asked people, tell us your Charles River story. People have gotten engaged next to the Charles. They contemplate next to the Charles. They grieve next to the Charles. We've done man on the street interviews, person on the street interviews, I should say. We ask people, hey, would you swim in the Charles? And they're like, no, gross. We're like, what if it were cleaned up? They say, that would be amazing. But your staff is saying to millions of people forever, no. On a hot summer day, you cannot jump into a clean Charles River. When you row in it, you'll get sick. And we never even gave you the chance to say whether it would be worth it to you to pay for the infrastructure improvements that would make it possible for you to have a swimmable Charles. The Cambridge City Council voted unanimously to support the 25-year storm level of control. You could direct your staff to do that as well. You have an incredibly competent, professional, well-regarded staff, and they would get it done very well, and it would be a model for the country. We, CRWA and Mystic, and the millions of people that we represent would like to work together with you to deliver the future that our residents have been promised and deserve. That is our strong preference. But if that is not the path you take, our job, our mission, is to protect and improve the river on behalf of millions of people, and we will do our job. Okay, thank you very much.